Two main things. Obviously, AI is the big one, right? One thing that we've been lucky, a lot of our clients are in AI, and we're doing like deep research into LangChain and these different tools that are really able to provide the transparency, provide the auditability for AI that companies are going to need.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow IT podcast. One of your hosts here, Trey King. And today we are very excited to have our guest Farbod from ComSec. And we'll be diving into his story a little bit today, as well as what his company does and some engaging insights into the technology industry. So make sure to stick around for this one. But without further ado, Farbod, welcome to the Grow IT podcast.
Thanks for having me, Treg. Pleasure to be here.
So, Farbod, if you don't mind, if you can please introduce yourself and just tell us just a quick snippet of your story, if you don't mind, please.
Sure. My background's in IT security and compliance, and mostly with a focus in healthcare. I've been doing that for the last more than 20 years. And it kind of accidentally fell into this role of helping friends that were starting companies, both in healthcare and other areas that needed help with security. And
Yeah.
at the same time, having friends during these economic downturns where lots of people were looking for jobs, trying to help them. So using my connections and my background, bringing people that were needing jobs into roles where they were doing security and compliance work. And it started with there and just kind of grew into ComSec, which now we have, a few dozen clients and hire a team of more than 10 people. And it's turning into a real thing.
It looks like it, yeah. Tell me, but what is it specifically about your industry and what your company does that you're so passionate about?
Yeah, so the industry has really become focused on certifications around security. So SOC 2 specifically,
Yeah.
SOC 2, ISO, these types of security certifications are now like a almost table stakes for companies to operate, specifically if they're in a regulated space like healthcare or finance. So, or AI now. So companies that usually B2B companies are asked to provide evidence that their security controls are in place, and that's where the SOC 2 comes in. I was lucky to be in a place where I was helping companies I was working for to get SOC 2s and
Yeah.
on the front side of this wave. And as it's picked up, I've been able to put a team together that really helps companies do this. And I focus on startups, so I'm able to, not being a startup myself, I'm able to charge lower costs, lower fees,
Mhm.
and give like, direct service that is making companies happy.
Well, that sounds great. Tell me, and then like you mentioned, obviously, being in the industry and the expert in your field, what are like the current market trends, that you are aware of in your space? What way is the wind blowing these days? What have you been noticing?
Two main things. Obviously, AI is the big one, right? Everyone's
The
talking.
buzzword, right?
So one thing that we've been lucky, a lot of our clients are in AI, and we're doing like deep research into LangChain and these different tools that are really able to provide the transparency, provide the auditability for AI that companies are going to need. And it's not yet a requirement, but it soon should be. That's one. The other one, which has been a wave and I think continues and will be even more so important in the future, is privacy. So data
Mm.
privacy laws. And that, although it's a little part of SOC 2, it's a big area in itself. And now some clients are coming to us just for like, hey, help us understand what's CCPA, what's
Mm.
GDP, and we're helping them with that.
Excellent. You touched on it earlier. Tell me if you don't mind just to elaborate a bit more for us on, what is it that your company does?
Okay, so ComSec stands for compliance and security. And that's
Okay.
in a nutshell what we do. We're a managed service provider, which basically comes and provides security and compliance as a service to companies that are new, to security and compliance, or that need support, an enhanced team of security and compliance. So we can do it all. We focus mainly on early to mid-stage startups, but
Yeah.
because of our background in health, lots of larger health companies are coming to us now too.
Oh, excellent. Is the health companies like a market that you guys are focusing on at the moment?
Because of our expertise there, now we don't, being a startup, we haven't really focused on marketing, etc. But our partners, are the companies like Drata and Banta, the auditors like Assurance Lab and
Yeah.
Align, and we have partnerships where, if one of my clients needs an auditor, I'm reaching out to them, or it needs a tool like Drata, I'm reaching out to them. And then when Drata needs a vCISO that knows about health, they're reaching out to us. Um, and I feel like our company is starting to become a little bit of a go-to for the health companies. So because of that, we're determining whether or not we want to focus in on health or not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is more than half of our business.
Clientele. Tell me, and then what would you say? You've mentioned like a couple of things you guys do now, but I don't know if you maybe can provide a bit of a case study or, you know, talking about value, right? The what would you say is the biggest value that you found that your clientele, your clients are receiving of what you guys do? What is that? What's that big value that they're getting from you guys?
Yeah, we're putting together a document about ROI of our company, but an
Yeah,
example would be a health company that is also in the AI space, called Carrie Health.
yeah,
This is a company that was just now announced its number 82 on the Inc. 500. So growing very quickly. This is really the starting story of ComSec. Like the founder of Carrie, Ario, was a friend of mine and knew that I was doing security and was getting these security questionnaires from his partners, right?
yeah,
He's like, "Hey, Farbs, can you help me out with this questionnaire? They're saying they want a SOC 2. I have no idea what this is." It's like, "I got you." Just started with, like, advising at a very small level.
yeah,
However, quickly turned into, and I told you this, coincided with the economic downturn, people needing help with jobs, and this company needing help with security professionals. So it was just a perfect storm where quickly came on board, explained the SOC 2 process, brought help on board with me, um, established a security program for them, but it was fit to their current size. At the time, they were less than 10 people, right?
yeah,
Uh, and then once they got this program in place, they were able to secure the client, quickly scale up. Um, and the services we were providing were mainly around checking the boxes for SOC 2. Then, as they started growing, they had more and more requirements, right? They added
yeah,
on
yeah,
new AI pieces. So then we also scale up. We are doing for them everything from phishing training and testing, security and awareness, uh, their onboarding, offboarding. We've come on as their IT service desk, right? IT support as well. We're involved in their engineering stand-up, where we are doing their scans like Sonar Cube and so, like GitHub security, AWS Inspector. We're in their entire, covering all aspects of security for them. And been able to help them scale up and partner with the biggest health insurance companies. And now from
oh
10
wow.
to over 50 people and like 3,000x revenue. So that's a good case study. I like it.
Definitely, geez, yeah, that's quite a success story right there. Um, I wanted to ask you a bit more just from a business owner point of view, right? The in your opinion, what type of mindset would you say is required to be like a successful founder, of a company?
I'm thinking about a hire I just did, right? We needed
Yep,
to, now this is more about what type of people we're looking for. And I think that's the same that goes for founders as well. Obviously, more so in founders, but
yeah,
um, but the story I was going to say is we need to hire people, right? We're hiring. And we had a few candidates, one of which was very experienced, sounded
yeah,
great, ready to be in front of a client, but not basically he's still rolling off his current engagement. He was going to start on a part-time basis and then work to a full-time role. And we're like, and then at the same time, we had another very inexperienced person, but you could tell he was sharp and he was super hungry. We
Yeah.
hired a more experienced person first, and we realized that he didn't hit the ground running like we expected. And he didn't, and it wasn't just that. It takes everyone time to onboard, but like the hunger that I saw in the other person was not there. Hunger is, I don't know, it sounds like a word that's just cloudy, but like we ended up hiring the other person as well. And as soon as he
Yeah.
came on, it was evident this guy was running, he was working, he was taking initiative. So, and that's what I want to see. A self-starter, to answer your question. You
Yeah.
need entrepreneurship, you need to be a self-starter, and you need to get the job done. Like there are different types of another story. There's you could get parking tickets or you get speeding tickets. I don't Parking tickets are you're just sitting around waiting for something. Speeding
Yeah.
tickets, you're going and doing stuff until I say, look, that's don't do that.
That's so
I prefer
you prefer speeding tickets. What a good analogy. Uh that's excellent, man. That's excellent. And obviously, like you said, now when you started the business, I'm sure there's always a couple of bumps on the road, right? As we all do have those. What would you are there like a couple of nuggets, one or two maybe, that you would say, these are the most important things when growing this business, besides now obviously that talking about the people that you employ. But is there something else that you would, for the young guys that's wanting to enter the business world, things that you've learned in your career that you would say, you know what, it was these couple of things that made sense for me.
hmm Well, people is obviously probably the most important.
Yeah,
And like, being ready to, when you are depending on one person and then they can't provide, like if they leave the company or drop the ball somehow, like
yeah,
you have to put process in place to cover the slack. Like sometimes there's like irreplaceable people, but like you have to do whatever you can to pick up the slack. Having processes in place, right? Like SOPs and like documents to help have like I know one of our weaknesses has been that we have been less organized than we should have been. So being organized, having a plan, looking ahead. So like one thing that I want to get my team to do more so is just look ahead. All right, we're doing this service. What are we going to do next year? I want all of our clients to get a roadmap of the year ahead so that they know what kind of value we're providing. And that vision is something that's important for these newcomers, I would say.
the newcomers. Excellent. Well, this was excellent advice first off, and then I can understand why you guys are so successful and why you steadily growing so well. I think the value that you guys bring from a third person looking in now, right? The value that you guys bring, obviously, from a business point of view. And like you said, it's not all smooth running. There is a couple of things. You mentioned a golden nugget, as I usually say. From the right hires, the right people in your team, that culture, and it's things like that builds a company sustainable. Getting those processes sorted out. I think the listeners have learned quite a lot today. So, Forbes, I need to thank you for your time and thanks for coming on. This was great. Tell me, Forbes, where can they get hold of you?
Sure. So ComSec is com-sec.io is our organization. And my LinkedIn is public. I'm open to chatting about either opportunities for the folks looking for jobs and also companies that are looking for help on the security perspective and compliance perspective. Happy to just do consultations and explain the process. I know that security and compliance is a really complex and it could,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and oftentimes the thing is these companies just have very high costs, don't really explain what's going on. It's so easy to just be paying for bullshit that is not really like concrete and giving you what you need. So yeah, happy to help out your base and have a chat.
Lovely. Thanks, Farbs. All the best to you and your business. Thanks for coming on. Take care.
Appreciate it.